Welcome, guys, Glasgow Rangers Nation, with me, your host, Aaron James. Guys, it's one of the worst Saturdays of the year. It is a Saturday with no football. And the prospect of no real football until August either. I'm not including the European Championships in it. They're not real football. Real, proper Rangers football doesn't come back till August, guys. How are we going to get through the next few months? Well, stick with us here. We'll obviously try and help you through these boring Saturdays where your missus is going to try and make you go shopping now. You're trying to go take you down to the supermarket to get your shopping in. Oh my God, don't. It's an awful place to be, a supermarket. Please don't go there. Well, we're going to talk today about a few different things. Obviously, this is rapidly becoming the Cortes SEMA show. We're going to talk about Cortes, as Lawns have named their price for the very talented winger. SEMA appears talks have begun between Rangers and Brighton over making the move permanent. And a little worry in terms of, I know before anyone shoots me down, it is early in the transfer window. The season has only just finished. But why are we not getting linked with strikers? And why the only striker that we are possibly linked with is the same one as usual? And that's being denied. Love to know. And how nice is this new shirt, guys? Love it. Well, let's start off by talking about Mr. Oscar Cortes. Now, obviously, Oscar had a very short, impressive loan spell at the club. He got injured, obviously, in that Kilmarnock game. And I think he was a big, huge miss for the remainder of the season. I think, if we'd had Oscar Cortes fit and SEMA fit for the vast majority of that post-March period, I think we would have been a far more threatening prospect. And I think we picked up an awful lot more points. I mean, finishing sixth in the form table over the post-split fixtures in terms of the whole league is pretty poor. If we'd had Cortes one side, SEMA the other, Cantwell, and even a fit Danilo, I think we would have run Celtic all the way to the final day of the season, and I think would have won the league. Cortes, well, guys, my feelings on Cortes. I think he's a fantastic footballer. He's skillful, he's quick, he's direct. He can play on the right, he can play on the left. If he plays on the left, he cuts in on his right foot. If he plays on the right, he cuts in on his left foot. He's an all-round talented footballer, typical South American winger with all the tricks and flicks and skills and speed and just general quality that we need. And it's something we've been missing, I think since Daniel Candeas, we haven't really had an out-and-out winger, someone we really, can depend on. I mean, nothing against Wee Ross McCausland. I love Wee Ross. But if we were to, get Oscar on a permanent contract, this would be a great move for the club. And, people talk about, he's injured. Yeah, but the injury actually was an impact injury. It's not down to him. It's not his fault that he sustained that injury. And plus, it was on that horrible plastic pitch at Killy. But you know what? Good news on the plastic pitch front. The league have voted to ban plastic pitches as of 2026. There will be no plastic pitches allowed in the SPL after 2026. Great news there. Those horrible, nasty pitches are gone. What's Oscar Cortes had to say on the whole matter? Well, this is what he said when he was talking to the media. He says, I'm doing well now after everything that's happened. There was obviously difficult times, but I think with the help of all the people I have around me, they have helped me a lot, and they have helped me to be calm in my head as well. I arrived and started doing things very well, and unfortunately the injury came. I had to stop for 3 months, but I thank God I am already in the recovery process. You want to say, me and my agents are keeping tabs on the negotiations that are taking place. We will also see what happens. I'm talking to my agents and also to Lawns and Rangers. Let's see what happens. I am waiting. Since I started playing soccer, my dream has been to play for Real Madrid. It has always been my dream. My dream is to get to Real Madrid. With work and sacrifice, I believe that it can be achieved at some point. They are my team. Now, look, I've got no issues with him saying this. I know there was some backlash after Nicholas Raskin came out and talked about wanting to play for Chelsea. But you know what? I think, if you look at South American footballers, if you look at a lot of footballers dream of going to the Santiago Bernabeu or the Camp Nou, and playing for Barcelona, playing for Real Madrid. They are kind of the world glamour teams, aren't they? And, no matter what your loyalty to any club, I think, if Real Madrid came in and offered you a contract or Barcelona, you'd be inclined to take it, wouldn't you? So I've got no worries with him, talking like this. But one positive from this, for me, for Cortes talking like this, is very much the fact that, it shows the lad has real ambition, has a real drive to succeed. And that's the types of players we need at the club. Players who want to be the best they can be, who want to improve, who want to develop, who want to get better, who want to really show the world and show those clubs like Real Madrid, like Bayern Munich, like, Barcelona, that they are huge talents. And I think, this is great for Rangers. So, look, personally speaking, Cortes, I would be looking at him, definitely trying to get him in on a permanent. Now, according to the reports that are emerging from club media sources, it is £4 million that Lawns are asking for the winger to recoup the costs of his move from Millonarios in Colombia, where he came from. Now, Cortes is, as we know, is a player who comes from, the very lowest level. This lad grew up in the slums in Colombia. He chose football over violence and gang warfare, and to really dedicate himself to become a footballer. And he has a dedication there. And again, that's another positive for this young lad, as well as obviously all the skills and quality that he has. Again, he fits the trading model. Again, he's a player that 2-3 years down the line can hopefully be flipped for an awful lot of cash. So, this is what it's all about these days. I hate talking about this. I think, world-class players should come to the club, should stay at the club for the majority of their prime of their career. And then we get rid of them when we don't need them anymore. Of course, I think that. I'm a Rangers fan. Why wouldn't I? But unfortunately, that's not the world we live in these days, because we haven't got the financial clout of Madrid or Barcelona or Manchester City or Arsenal or Liverpool anymore. We haven't got that monetary clout. But you know what? It's great to be getting these players on the up in their career and the start of their career to develop them. And like I said, Cortes is a very young lad and a quality player. He's another one to add to that list, like Damian Garcia that we looked at yesterday in the video. Thank you for your phenomenal response to that video. But yeah, Cortes for me is an absolute must. Now, according to club media sources, again, they are very confident that Cortes will be a Rangers player and there will be no repeat of the Malik Tillman situation. Obviously, where it was rumored that he was going to join, and then it all kind of fell apart. So please, obviously, let's hope that comes off and Cortes is at the club. And I think if we have Cortes next season and he's fully fit, raring to go, what an exciting prospect. And again, if we link him with this man, I think this would put us in a really good position. I mean, can you imagine the fear in the faces of Taylor and Johnston if we've got Seamer coming down one side and Cortes coming down the other side? Both quick, tricky, skillful, direct attacking wingers. Everything they hate. They hate it Upham, don't they? They don't like it Upham, as Corporal Jones once said in Dad's Army, which is now banned on UK TV because apparently it's racist. Jesus, what is the world coming to these days? Anyway, according to reports again from club sources, insider sources, talks have already begun between Brighton and Rangers about keeping hold of Abdallah Seamer. Now, Seamer is moving into the last 18 months of his contract. So obviously the fee that Brighton can demand for the player will be substantially lowered because of that, because they will realise that, club are going to say, well, we're not going to give you 15 million for him. We're not going to give you 20 million for him. We're not going to give you masses of money for him because we'll just wait. Give it till next summer. See you later. Free transfers. This is the way it works, and this is how it's going to work. And I think Brighton need to realise that. Look, they need to think realistically. And I think if we can come up with a smart deal for Seamer, something like 6-7 million with the sell on, I think that is the best way forward. And perhaps even incentives within that contract that Brighton may get an extra bit of money if we do this, if we do that. But, make them a little bit unrealistic. Perhaps Brighton can have another 10 million if we win the Champions League. But look, at the end of the day, this is the way forward, guys. And I think Seamer is, again, another good buy. I think if we can get hold of Seamer, we can get him on a permanent basis. I mean, look at the guy's stats this season. I've spoken about it on the... I'm not going to talk too long about Seamer because I did speak a lot about him on the video the other day. This guy scored goals, 16, 17 goals this season. His assists are good. He is a quality player. And I think we really did suffer when he went out injured. He's direct. He knows where the target is. He can finish. And I genuinely believe that, even playing from the wing, that Abdallah Seamer could have actually been our top goal scorer this season. His finishing is better than Dessa's. He's reliable. A big chance falls his way. He takes it on the whole. He doesn't put it into orbit or manage to somehow scuff it wide. I mean, he is a top talent. So for me, Abdallah Seamer, absolute must. And again, club sources are reporting that Rangers are fairly confident of securing Abdallah Seamer on a permanent contract, which is great news for the club. Now, what I want to talk about next, guys, I'll get to it. Guys, just we're on Instagram, We are on TikTok, guys. TikTok is massive these days. It really is absolutely huge these days. It is growing massively. I think we've got over 5,000 followers on TikTok now. We do news videos, lives on there as well. Apparently that's the place to be, so my daughters tell me. So yeah, check us out. Anyway, let's talk strikers. Look, we have at the club under contract at this moment in time 2 strikers. That's what we've got. I mean, Zach Lovelace is out of contract this summer. And I will talk about departing players just quickly at the end of the video. But Shankland obviously is the big link. That seems to be denied by club insiders like Chris Jack, who is just a killjoy. But yeah, so Shankland seems to be one that's been repeatedly denied. And I'd love to know the reasoning why. What is the reason behind us saying no to Lawrence Shankland? The guy's, got 12 months left on his deal. He's Hearts realistically cannot ask for a massive fee for him, because realistically they're not going to get it, because clubs are going to go, well, we'll just wait 12 months and get him for nothing. So you're cutting your nose off to spite your face, Hearts, really. The guy's a top goal scorer in the SPL last season. He knows where the goal is. And I'm firmly of the opinion that had we signed Lawrence Shankland in January, we would have won the league. Genuinely feel that. So it's a bit of a weird one for me. Now, I understand that the biggest area kind of, I think Clement will have identified initially to rebuild is the defence. And you can see that with the links we've had so far. Hefte signed, obviously the Cordoba deal fell through, Gadalmez, Hefte Samson had that one. All these players that have come in so far in these leagues, Daniel Garcia, defensive midfielder, it's about strengthening at the back. Now, yes, Cortes and Seema, but that's kind of different because they're lone players, and we've kind of got to, sort of sort that one out. But look, it just worries me slightly that we're not really being linked with any strikers at this point. And I know it's early in the window, and I know it's, it's only the 1st of June today, but it's still a little bit of a concern, because we kind of link with this player, that player, this player. And I'm hoping that long term there is a plan to go and get strikers, because I know Seema can play through the middle, but if our plan next season is Danilo, Silva, and Dessers, I am worried. I am Seema and Dessers. Dessers, Seema, and Danilo. That's it. Get it right this time. If that's our plan for next season, I'm worried. I am really worried. Dessers is shit. He's not up to standard. I know he scored 22 goals, but he should be in a Rangers team that creates as many chances. And all his defenders, he missed 28 big chances, including chances that really cost us this league. Ross County away, Celtic Park. What else? Hearts, 4 chances missed. The guy just misses chances for fun, doesn't he? The guy should have had 40 goals this season. And to me, if we can get £3-4 million for him this summer, then great, get rid of him. I would happily get rid of Dessers. Danilo, the jury's still out. We can't really cast aspersions. I don't get these fans that say Danilo's shit, he's not worth 6 million, because 6 million is not a lot of money to pay for a striker anyway. And it's too soon. It's too soon to be. And his actual goals per minute and his goals per appearance is actually the best of all of our strikers, much better than Dessers. So look, I think it's too early to state that Seema is too valuable out wide for us. So I'm really hoping that there is a plan there. There is something in place to bring in a striker, because if we go into next season with only those 3 options and perhaps a youth team player, I think there is a real worry there. There is a real concern there for me. So I'm really hoping that over the next coming weeks, months, we are going to start looking into the striker market. I'm hoping that Niels Koppen has expanded that market big and wide and is looking all over for strikers. Now, obviously, May the 31st has passed, so the number of players now are out of contract, but as yet, still no announcements from Rangers as to who is actually leaving. Now, at the end of last season, we knew straight away, didn't we, that the likes, obviously, of Helander, Kent, who is available on a free now. Please don't re-sign him, Rangers. Morelos were gone. We knew that was happening. We knew that was all going. But we haven't had any announcements over Barisic, over Lundstrom, over Ryan Jack, over John McLaughlin, Kemar Roof. Now, I think it's pretty much known that Roof is gone, that Barisic is going to Trabzon. A lot still around. Lundstrom joining at Trabzon. So I'd hope the club comes out sooner and clears up the future of these players. It's all about getting things in place, they always say, get your ducks in a line and work from that. So still no news about that. Obviously, we'll try and stay all over it here on Glasgow Rangers Nation. Well, guys, thank you for watching the video today. Obviously, a bit later out today because I had a horrific day at work yesterday. Didn't get our work until after midnight. Utterly ludicrous. Thank you for watching the channel. As always, please smash that sub. And on the way out, there's 2 things I always ask of you. Number 1, please smash that like. Number 2, remember always.